Introducing the Nintendo 64. The origins and early design of the Nintendo 64. The Nintendo 64 was released on June 23, 1996, and was a fifth-generation home console. Originally developed under the name Project Reality, the Nintendo 64 was marketed as an Ultra 64 gaming system, setting a new standard for console gaming. Drawing from many of the same development and design principles that made the original Nintendo Entertainment System, NES, and Super Nintendo Entertainment System, SNES, iconic, the Nintendo 64 quickly established itself as a fan favorite. The release of the Nintendo 64 had a profound impact on the home console gaming industry. In many ways, the N64 pushed the industry forward with its cutting-edge capabilities. The infamous and iconic three-pronged controller, first released alongside the system, offered a significantly improved control scheme for direct manipulation of on-screen characters and objects compared to the predecessor SNES controller. Furthermore, the Nintendo 64 was the first console to feature true 3D gaming. Titles such as Super Mario 64 pushed the boundaries of what was previously possible in console gaming. Arcade-influenced design of the Nintendo 64. The Nintendo 64 was largely inspired by the design of the arcade games from which Nintendo had made its fortune. The innovation of the N64 resided in combining the best elements of arcade game design with a unique home console form factor. For instance, the N64's core gaming philosophy was heavily influenced by the coin-operated arcade video game titles of the mid-1980s. Moreover, the N64's three-dimensional graphics and advanced sound capabilities allowed players to experience a higher level of immersion compared to the two-dimensional home consoles of the past. Some of the most iconic and important N64 titles are The Legend of Zelda, Ocarina of Time, GoldenEye 007, Star Fox, and F-Zero X. Despite their varied genres, these games all held something unique to the N64 console. Super Mario 64, for example, was perhaps the most important video game of its time due to its revolutionary 3D gameplay and expansive sandbox-style levels. Meanwhile, The Legend of Zelda, Ocarina of Time, and GoldenEye showed the gaming industry what a truly immersive and cinematic game experience could look and feel like. Released with a 64-bit processor, the Nintendo 64 outperformed its 16-bit predecessor and featured impressive hardware advances. In addition to the CPU, the Nintendo 64 featured an impressive amount of RAM, allowing for larger and richer gaming worlds. Moreover, the N64 was the first home console to feature hardware-accelerated 3D graphics, as well as texture mapping capabilities, allowing for games to look more realistic than ever before. The N64's technical specification also made it possible for games to incorporate new features such as real-time lighting, reflection mapping, and particle effects.